In our lifetime, we absorb facts, information, and skills. We get our theoretical and practical understanding through education and experience. It's called knowledge. Welcome to television's longest-running high school quiz show, Knowledge Bowl. Let's join two of our 16 competing Northeast Michigan high schools and our host, Astrid Fitzpatrick, for today's match.
Hello, welcome to Knowledge Bowl, Michigan's longest-running quiz show. I'm your host, Astrid Fitzpatrick. Today our game is between Fairview and Hillman. We'll start by introducing our teams, beginning with Fairview.
Ethan Troyer, senior.
Pearl Kilmer, sophomore.
Grace Maurer, freshman.
Lauren Krupinski, sophomore.
Emily Lanzak, freshman.
And they're joined by their coach, Steve Gussler. And our team from Hillman.
Caleb Schiffer, junior.
Zachary Cameron, senior.
Camille Laporte, senior.
Stuart Brown, sophomore.
Cassie Halford, sophomore.
Zachary Tedeschi, sophomore.
James Ferguson, junior.
James McQueen, sophomore.
And they're joined by their coach, Rebecca Schwartz. I'd also like to thank our judge, Matthew Fitzpatrick, for being here today. Our first round is the toss-up round, but before we start that, here are the rules.
Round 1 is a toss-up format. A question will be asked, and the first competitor to ring in has the opportunity to answer the question. If a correct answer is given, the team is awarded 10 points. No consulting is allowed. If the answer is incorrect, then the question goes to the opposing team to answer.
All right, let's get started. Plaque is found in 2 places in the human body. Can you name them? Ethan.
The mouth and bloodstream.
Judges. Right, that's correct. The Union Army captured all but 2 of the Confederate state capitals during the Civil War. Name either of these state capitals, each within 200 miles of the Gulf Coast. Okay, and the correct answer was Austin and Tallahassee. By what specific term do geologists refer to the bowl-shaped depression in a mountainside that is formed by erosion at the head of a glacier? Ethan?
Crater.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Hillman? The correct answer was a cirque. Specifically explain the meaning of the phrase, to gild the lily. And the correct answer was to try to improve something that's already beautiful or perfect. A woman receives a monthly salary of $1,200. She saves 7% of it. How many years will it take for her to save $4,032? Ethan?
4.
That's correct, 4 years. In the final chapter of the final book published during his lifetime, he wrote, "I'm not yet a saint. I'm an alcoholic. I'm a drug addict. I'm a genius." Who penned this blunt self-description in his Music for Chameleons? Okay, the correct answer was Truman Capote. How do you spell homicidal? Grace.
Homicidal.
That's correct. An important criticism of the New Deal was that it A, greatly increased the national debt, B, weakened the power of the chief executive, C, promoted the idea of laissez-faire over considerations of needed government control, or D, deflated the economy. Grace.
C.
Sorry, that's incorrect. Hillman? Camille?
A.
That's correct. It increased the national debt. We no longer use the 1940s minesweeping tank named for what poisonous arachnid found in the zodiac? Ethan?
Tarantula.
Sorry, that's incorrect. Hillman?
Scorpion.
That's correct. One of Walt Disney's highly successful films was the cartoon motion picture Bambi, starring Flowers, Thumper, and Bambi. What kind of animals were these 3 characters? Caleb?
Flowers was a skunk, Bambi was a deer, and Thumper was a rabbit.
That's correct. As a noun, this word refers to a hairy gray animal that feeds at night and lives in a hole in the ground. As a verb, it means to bother persistently or to tease. Caleb?
Badger.
That's correct. If you climbed Mount Rainier, you'd be on the summit of the highest mountain in the state of Washington. If you climbed Mount Washington, you'd be on top of the highest peak in which state? Ethan?
Colorado.
Sorry, that's incorrect. Hillman? Camille?
Oregon.
Sorry, that's also incorrect. Correct answer is New Hampshire. This special variety of grass is used to make some of the world's finest fly fishing rods. Name it. The correct answer was bamboo. What Dutch master painted 64 self-portraits? And the correct answer was Rembrandt. In the power formula, P equals I squared R, R is resistance. What is I? Grace?
Inertia.
Sorry, that's incorrect. Hillman? The correct answer was current. A measure indicating both magnitude and direction, for example, of speed or distance, is called a vector. What is a measure indicating only magnitude but no direction? The correct answer was a scalar. Founders of the Carolinas called on what English philosopher to write their fundamental laws? The correct answer was John Locke. What Roman emperor suggested to his friend and teacher Seneca that he kill himself? Ethan?
Caesar.
Sorry, that's incorrect. Hillman? The correct answer was Nero. The wooded or metal framework built above an oil well to support the drilling equipment is called what? Caleb?
Supports.
Sorry, that's incorrect. Fairview? The correct answer is a derrick. On what continent are the Atlas Mountains? Grace?
Europe.
Sorry, that's incorrect. Hillman? Stewart? I'm sorry, that's also incorrect. The correct answer was Africa. In the first decade of the 20th century, African American leaders debated the issues of direct political action to obtain civil rights and the type of training or education African Americans should seek. The chief figures in these debates were A. Benjamin Banneker and Frederick Douglass, B. Booker T. Washington and W.E.B. Du Bois, C. Marcus Garvey and Father Divine, or D. A. Philip Randolph and Martin Luther King Jr. Ethan?
D.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Stewart?
A.
Sorry, that's also incorrect. The correct answer was B. Booker T. Washington and W.E.B. Du Bois. And that's all I have for our first round. We'll be right back with some updated scores. And welcome back. So far, we've got Fairview with a score of 30 and Hillman with a score of 40. Our next round is the bonus round, but before we start that, here are the rules.
This is the bonus round. It consists of toss-up questions, as in round 1. However, this is the twist. The team answering correctly then gets 4 bonus questions. For each question answered correctly, a series of points will be awarded. Team members can consult, but only the team captain can answer the question. After an incorrect answer, the toss-up portion begins again for both teams.
First question. To reduce the risk of food poisoning, what action can people take when using eggs to kill the bacterium Salmonella enteritis? Zach?
Cook it.
That's correct. Okay, these are about chemistry. 5 of the chemical elements have names beginning with the letter M. Name 3 of these 5 elements.
Mercury, magnesium.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Correct. We would have taken mercury, manganese, magnesium, molybdenum, and mendelevium. About 85% of all Californians were born in the United States. In what country were the majority of the others born? Ethan?
Mexico.
That's correct. These are about British history. Which family did not rule England? Lancaster, Plantagenet, Tudor, York, or Savoy?
York.
Sorry, that's incorrect. Correct answer was Savoy. If you have blue socks and red socks in your drawer, mixed in the ratio of 4 to 5, how many socks will you have to take out to make sure of having a pair the same color? The correct answer was 3. A bimetallist would be primarily interested in what 2 metals? The correct answer was gold and silver. The 1907 Gentlemen's Agreement tried to limit immigration from this country, while the 1924 Immigration Act, since repealed, specifically denied U.S. citizenship to those immigrants who still managed to make it to America. Name this Far Eastern nation. Grace?
Japan.
That's correct. Okay, these are math questions. What would be the height of a 195-pound man when he has 5 G's of acceleration pressing on him?
I'm
sorry, that's incorrect. Correct answer was 975 pounds. A random sampling in a factory shows that 7% of the items produced will be defective. What is the expected number of defective items out of a sample of 500 items? Lauren?
35.
That's correct. Okay, these are about the heart. What's the name of implants that electronically stimulate the heartbeat?
Pacemaker.
That's correct. What structures in the heart ensure that blood flows in only one direction?
Valves.
That's correct. The hepatic arterioles carry blood from the heart to what organ?
Lungs.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Correct answer was the liver. Okay, the less severe forms of mental illness are collectively classified as what? Caleb?
Mentally challenged.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Fairview? Ethan?
Mentally impaired.
Sorry, that's also incorrect. Correct answer was neuroses. Scientists have discovered a New Guinea bird, the hooded pitohui, which uses what defense mechanism that scientists thought occurred only in insects, fish, amphibians, and reptiles? Ethan?
Play dead.
Sorry, that's incorrect. Hillman?
Had an exoskeleton.
Sorry, that's also incorrect. Correct answer is that it has poison. Among farmers, which bird's flesh is being touted as the commercial meat of the future? Ethan?
Chicken.
Sorry, that's incorrect. Hillman? Camille?
Turkey.
Sorry, that's also incorrect. Correct answer was ostrich. Name the French painter whose Harmony in Yellow sold for $14.5 million, eclipsing the 1989 record for $12.4 million for his woman with a red umbrella seated in profile. Grace?
Monet.
Sorry, that's incorrect. Hillman? The correct answer was Henri Matisse. After 18 years and 3 lawsuits, the Court of Appeals ruled that the U.S. government must compensate what former president for papers and tapes confiscated during his administration? Ethan?
Nixon.
That's correct. And these are all events that happened in the year 1888. The Kodak camera was first sold by what Rochester, New York businessman? The correct answer was George Eastman. Raw silk is obtained from the cocoon of the silkworm. Japan and China are 2 countries known for the production of silk. Name at least one other chief silk-producing nation. Ethan?
Turkey.
Sorry, that's incorrect. Hillman? Caleb?
Iraq.
Sorry, that's also incorrect. We would have accepted Korea, India, Italy, or Russia. Who composed the Surprise Symphony? Caleb?
Mozart.
Sorry, that's incorrect. Fairview? The correct answer was Franz Joseph Haydn. Name the 3 specific structures in Paris, San Francisco, and New York on the list of modern wonders. Camille?
The Statue of Liberty, the Golden Gate Bridge, and the Eiffel Tower.
Sorry, that's incorrect. Fairview? Pearl?
The Eiffel Tower, the Golden Gate Bridge, and the Statue of Liberty.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. The correct answer was Eiffel Tower, Golden Gate Bridge, and the Empire State Building. What rhythm and meter did poet E.E. Cummings use? The correct answer was free verse. The log of 16 base x equals -2. What is the value of x? Ethan?
1/4.
That's correct. Okay, these are about the American novel. Which of these novels did not deal with the government? All the King's Men, Advise and Consent, 7 Days in May, or Marjorie Morningstar?
Marjorie Morningstar.
That's correct. Whose first two major works were Tales of the Jazz Age and The Beautiful and the Damned? The correct answer was F. Scott Fitzgerald. That's all we have for our second round. We'll be right back with some updated scores. Okay, welcome back. So far, we've got Fairview with a score of 100 and Hillman with a score of 50. We're also joined by alternates Emily Ladensack on Fairview's side and James Ferguson on Hillman's side. Our next round is the 60-second round, but before we start that, here are the rules.
This is our 60-second round. The team with the lowest score selects from one of the 4 categories of 10 questions. The team that has 60 seconds to answer as many questions as possible. Each correct answer is worth 10 points. Any missed questions will then be answered by the opposing team. An additional 20-point bonus is awarded for answering all 10 questions correctly.
We're starting with Hillman, who's chosen the category spelling. Grotesque.
Grotesque.
That's correct. Unappreciative.
Unappresiative.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Ignominious.
Pass.
Susceptibility.
Seceptib.
Sorry, that's incorrect. Countenance. Okay, Fairview. Unappreciative.
UNAPPRECIATIVE.
That's correct. Ignominious.
I didn't hear the full word.
ANGNOMINIST.
Sorry, that's incorrect. Susceptibility.
SUSCEPTIBILITY.
That's correct. And go to Fairview, who's chosen the category 20th century.
Did they get countenance?
The Louisiana Purchase Exposition in 1904 was better known as what?
Louisiana Purchase.
Sorry, that's incorrect. Which country sued for peace following the fall of Port Arthur in 1905?
Pass.
When assassinated on June 28, 1914, Franz Ferdinand, heir to the throne in Austria-Hungary, had which title?
Archduke.
That's correct. Which member of the Triple Alliance drafted 50% of its qualified young men at the outbreak of World War I?
France.
Sorry, that's incorrect. Germany's only weapon against the Allied supply line from America was what instrument of war so new that no rules governed its use?
U-boats.
What?
U-boats.
U-boats.
Judges? No, sorry, that's incorrect. The empire referred to as Germany's Second Reich began in 1871. In what year did it end? Okay, and Hillman. The Louisiana Purchase Exposition in 1904 was better known as what?
Pass.
Okay. Which country sued for peace following the fall of Port Arthur in 1905?
Pass.
Which member of the Triple Alliance drafted 50% of its qualified young men at the outbreak of World War I?
U.S.
Sorry, that's incorrect. And Germany's only weapon against the Allied supply line from America was what instrument of war? That's correct. And that's all we have for our third round. We'll be right back with some updated scores. All right, welcome back. So far we've got Fairview with a score of 140 and Hillman with a score of 70. Our last round is a toss-up round just like the first round, so we'll go ahead and get started. A scientist might describe it as a decapod dibranchiate cephalopod. What would the common name be? Caleb?
Sea urchin.
Sorry, that's incorrect. Fairview? Grace?
A snail?
Sorry, that's also incorrect. Correct answer is a squid. The Bobby Jones Award is given annually by the United States Golf Association for what trait? Ethan?
Charisma?
Sorry, that's incorrect. Hillman? Caleb?
Being good at golf.
Sorry, that's also incorrect. Correct answer is sportsmanship. Christian I through Christian X were kings of what country? Ethan?
Israel?
Sorry, that's incorrect. Hillman? James?
Is it England?
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. The correct answer was Denmark. A national language is a band of national union. Is this quotation from Thomas Jefferson, Daniel Webster, or Noah Webster? Grace?
Noah?
That's correct. What is the term for the area in which a magnet exerts force? Ethan?
Magnetic field.
That's correct. The Arlington National Cemetery is now located on the grounds formerly the property of what great American general? Stuart? Or, sorry, James?
Did not mean to press it, but I'm going to say Washington, George Washington.
Sorry, that's incorrect. Fairview? Ethan?
Lincoln?
No, I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Correct answer was Robert E. Lee. When the U.S. Constitution was written, each delegate to the House of Representatives was to represent how many citizens? 30,000, 60,000, 90,000, or 120,000? Ethan?
90,000.
Sorry, that's incorrect. Camille?
30,000.
That's correct. From what grain does plain white flour originate? Zach?
Wheat?
That's correct. In basketball, what is the maximum number of times a team may be charged with timeout in regulation time without incurring a penalty? Caleb?
3.
Sorry, that's incorrect. Ethan?
4.
Sorry, that's also incorrect. Correct answer was 5. The face in the center of an Aztec calendar represents what astral body? Grace?
The sun?
That's correct. Corduroy was originally a French fabric woven from silk and used exclusively by kings for hunting costumes. What is a corduroy road? Ethan?
A traveling route for trading?
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Hillman? It's a road made out of logs, usually through like a swamp or a bog. And how do you spell corduroy? Ethan?
Courteroy.
Sorry, that's incorrect. Hillman? Zach?
We're going to go with Courderoy.
Sorry, that's also incorrect. Correct answer is Corduroy. John Calhoun was the first vice president to resign. From whose administration did he depart? The correct answer was Andrew Jackson's. What is the best word to describe the emperor's new clothes? Caleb?
Invisible.
That's correct. What are the bones called that make up human fingers and toes? Grace?
Metacarpals?
Sorry, that's incorrect. Zach?
Phalanges.
That's correct. Harriet earns $144 per week. If she puts $36 in the bank every week, what part of her paycheck does she save? Ethan?
25%?
That's correct. Was coal formed from decaying animals, crushed rock, volcanic ash, or decaying vegetation? Ethan?
Crushed rock.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. James?
Crushed vegetation.
Yep, that's correct. Decaying vegetation. What political document begins with these words? Whereas the delegates of the United States of America, Ethan?
Declaration of Independence.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. In Congress assembled did on the 15th day of November in the year of our Lord 1777. Caleb?
The Emancipation Proclamation.
Sorry, that's incorrect. Correct answer was the Articles of Confederation. In geometry, if a figure is the set of all points and only those points that satisfy a given condition, that figure is called a what? Camille?
A circle?
Sorry, that's incorrect. Fairview? Ethan?
Square.
Sorry, that's also incorrect. Correct answer was a locus. And that's all we have for our final round. We'll be right back with the final scores. All right, welcome back. Our final scores are Fairview with 180 and Hillman with 120. So congratulations to our winners today from Fairview. Join us next week and we'll have Alcona versus Tawas. And I'll leave you with a quote from Carl Jung: "Knowledge lies not in truth alone, but in error also." So don't be afraid to make mistakes. That's why they put the little erasers on pencils. Have a nice day.